if public opinion is basically the opinion of the public that the government finds it prudent to heed, then how do we in the public actually form opinions? And basically, we form opinions based on our underlying attitudes, which are an organized and consistent manner of thinking, feeling, and reacting with regard to people, groups, social interests, or generally any event in our environment. And that definition comes from the Cornell textbook, but basically all it's saying is that an attitude is the way that we sort of understand the world based on sort of external stimuli. So how do we think and feel about something when it happens to us, or when we, are asked about it? So these opinions are these attitudes, same kind of things that priming brings up. So remember priming from our discussion of the media. When the media is priming us to feel a certain way, they're basically doing it by tapping into these underlying attitudes, these consistent ways of feeling or thinking about certain things and understanding certain things. Now, when we state our opinion, it is an expression of whatever underlying attitudes are evoked by the choice presented. So that's really important, because the choice presented might change what underlying attitudes come to bear. Because after all, the choice may be framed in a certain way that primes us to tap into different attitudes. For that matter, the choice can be between two things rather than a range. So it turns out that if you ask people in a poll, are you pro-abortion or anti-abortion, they will tell you, I'm pro-abortion or I'm anti-abortion. But if you give people a range from never ever legal to always under every circumstance legal, the vast majority of Americans actually fall between those two extremes. So even though I'm against abortion and I'm against all abortions kind of sound like the same thing, once you have those other variations of I'm against abortions under most circumstances but not all of them, or on the other side, I'm for abortions all the time under any circumstances, kind of sounds like the same as I'm pro-abortion. But once we get those different variations of I'm pro-abortion, but I think there should be some exceptions and some limitations, it turns out that those variations, those sort of between the extremes, actually much more where Americans fall. But if faced with the choice between pro or anti, they will decide. So the different question can make it seem like people hold inconsistent opinions, when in reality it may just be the questions are not consistent. So that's an important thing when we think about the media and how it might change people's opinions on things. It's not necessarily changing their opinions, right? It's bringing different attitudes to the fore. And if you did the extra credit on data analysis and data literacy, you'll notice that I talked a bit about how polling can frame questions in a way that bring different opinions to light. So polls may find inconsistent results because of these different framing methods and the different attitudes that are therefore brought to light by the questions.